Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to another episode of Sports News Flash at 12 with your weekend sports anchor, Miguel Mike Medina. And we're going to get started with the topic news of this week. Scott Rolen has been elected to the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Scott Rolen. He will be joining Fred McGriff on July 23rd to give their speeches in Cooperstown. Scott Rolen was elected on his sixth year on the ballot. He got in with a 76.3% of the vote. Scott Rolen, he jumped from 63% last year to 76% this year. Scott Rolen, he's one of the top 10 best third basemen to ever play this game. For me, Scott Rolen, his signature play is his bare hands. Yes, he was an all-around player. He can hit. He can steal bases. He has speed. But it was his bare hands on defense that I will forever remember of Scott Rolen. And also, one of the biggest swings of his career happened in Game 7 in 2004 of the National League Championship Series against Roger Clemens, who was with the Houston Astros at the time. With the game tied at 2-2, Scott Rolen with 1 man on base, he hit a home run to left field to give the Cardinals a 4-2 lead, and they went on to the World Series. But Scott Rolen, that home run was the biggest swing of his career. With that being said, let's focus on next year's ballot, 2024. Listen to some of the names of the first year that will be on the ballot. Adrian Beltre, Chase Utley, Joe Mauer, David Ray, Matt Holliday, Adrian Gonzalez, Jose Bautista, Jose Ramirez, Victor Martinez, and Bartol Colon. Out of all of those names that I just mentioned, the one that I'll say is for sure that will get in is Adrian Beltre, especially since he hit 3,000 hits. As of players that will be returning to the ballot, I feel that Todd Helton and Carlos Beltran will get in next year to join Adrian Beltre. Todd Helton will be a Hall of Famer. He made a significant jump this year. He will get a jump next year. Let's go into this commercial, but when we get back, we're going to talk about WWE Raw turning 30. They turned 30 last Monday. But we're not going to talk so much about what happened during the event, but more of the memories that has happened during the 30 years on Raw. So we'll be back after this. Are you interested in watching one of the most anticipated web series in 2023? Well, here's your chance to support. You can go to mikesproduct.shop and you can order a coffee mug and a long sleeve shirt to support Mike's Zoom film series. So once again, go to mikesproduct.shop. Welcome back to Sports News Flash at 12. Last Monday, WWE Raw turned 30. And Raw has so many outstanding memories, so many incredible storylines, so many epic events. And I just want to mention some of them that really stood out to me throughout the years of Raw. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon's rivalry, which changed the landscape of the business. Austin revolutionized the company. So when you think about Austin and McMahon, there's for example, the Zamboni episode in which this took place in Detroit. Austin drove the Zamboni into the ring. He attacked Vince McMahon. They put the cuffs on Austin. And that same night, this is how huge the Attitude Era was. That same night, Kane and Undertaker attacked Vince McMahon and crushed his ankle. But it was Jim Ross, JR's commentary, and Jerry the King Lawler as well. But it was JR's commentary in that episode that it was extremely epic. So you have that. Mankind winning his first WWE title against The Rock. And he got some help from Stone Cold Steve Austin when he interfered in the match And when you heard Stone Cold Steve Austin's music, it is one of the biggest pops that I've ever heard in the history of the company. So Austin interfered the match. He grabbed the chair. He nailed The Rock with the chair, which Mankind took advantage and pinned The Rock. And Mankind, he got put on a pedestal while holding the belt. It was an incredible moment for the company. Chris Jericho's debut is arguably the greatest debut in WWE history. Though it's just how everything happened. The Rock was in the ring giving a promo, and then Chris Jericho's countdown, his theme song, the music, the crowd, everything. It was just so electric. It was an impressive debut in the company. Triple H returning after a serious quad injury in 2002. He came back with a vengeance. He won the Royal Rumble. He went on to win. He became world champion in WrestleMania 17 in Toronto. But his comeback in Raw after the injury was electrifying. Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels calling a truce after 12 years since the Montreal Screwjob incident. That was another beautiful moment in Raw history. This next one, I remember watching it on TV, just like the Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels one. Batista giving the thumbs down to Triple H because Batista was trying to figure out whether he was going to go to stay in Raw or go to SmackDown to compete for the World Championship at WrestleMania 21. But the storyline between Triple H and Batista was so great, and it was well balanced because you saw that Batista was getting tired of Triple H because Triple H only cared about himself and the belt, not so much about his group members' evolution. So when Batista gave the thumbs down to Triple H, meaning I'm staying on Raw, he attacked Triple H. He powerbombed him through the table. That was one of the best moments in Raw history, in my opinion. The Rock singing Sacramento. The Rock as Hollywood Rock is my favorite. How can I put it? Out of the character, I would say this: out of all the characters that The Rock played, Hollywood Rock is my favorite one in the WWE because he was a villain and he was a great villain. He made you love him and he made you hate him. But Hollywood Rock is my favorite one, the best. So him singing Sacramento was hilarious because this was the promo 6 days before WrestleMania 19, which is the third match between The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. So not only he was dissing Sacramento, but he was dissing Austin in his song. And Sacramento, this was 2003, and if you follow sports, the NBA, the Sacramento Kings kept losing to the Lakers kept losing to Lakers, and they lost 3 years in a row in 2000, 2001, and 2002. Even though in 2002, I feel that they should have won and they got robbed, especially in Game 6. But whatever. The Rock, at one point, when he was singing Sacramento, he said, but I'll be sure to come back when the Lakers beat the Kings in May. And the fans booed the crap out of him. But it was just hilarious. It was epic. So that's one of my favorite memories in Raw. There's more that I can continue going on and on and on, such as Stone Cold spraying beer on Vince McMahon and the Rock Corporation, and Vince McMahon was drowning in the ring. That was funny. John Cena's Raw debut in 2005. This was when they did the whole draft thing. Batista quitting when he was at the wheelchair. There's just so many. Shane McMahon causing the limo accident that Kane was inside the limo. So there's just so many great moments. NWO attacking The Rock, especially the whole scenario that happened backstage in the parking lot. There's just so many that happened in 30 years of Raw, and it's great that they're still continuing putting out episodes week after week after week, even though I feel that wrestling is not as fun or as exciting as it once was compared to the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. But it's an accomplishment, it's a milestone that they were able to make it to 30 years of success in entertainment. It's time for good or great. And today's episode features Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin, he is a terrific athlete, an impressive wrestler. It's just crazy to think that it's been 20 years since he's been with the company. So the question is he a good wrestler or a great wrestler? In my opinion, he's a very good wrestler, have potential to be great. But even though in my opinion he's not a great wrestler, but I still feel that at some point he should have been the world champion. I feel that the company should have given him that push at some point. But I understand that not everyone gets to have that push in the company. He's 47 years old and he still looks the same when he first came into the business. But Shelton Benjamin, 20 years of hard work, dedication, commitment to the company. He's been a 3-time intercontinental champion, WWE United States champion, 3-time WWE 24/7 champion. One of my favorite memories of Shelton Benjamin is the match that he had with Shawn Michaels in 2005 during the Gold Rush tournament. Those two, I mean, Shawn Michaels is, arguably, he's, in my opinion, top 2 greatest wrestler of all time. So both of them were bringing out the best out of each other. It was a fantastic match, great match. And the way that match ended was epic. Shelton Benjamin went from the top of the rope and Shawn Michaels caught him in the air and gave him a sweet chin music to pin him for the victory. That was epic. But that was an impressive matchup and great match. Shelton Benjamin was also part of Team Angle, World's Greatest Tag Team with Charlie Haas. But yeah, he was a very good wrestler in my opinion. And he is still performing to this day. He inspired and influenced wrestlers like Kofi Kingston, who went on to have success in the company as well. But Shelton Benjamin, he deserved his flowers, his respect for everything that he's done for the company. And like I said, I feel that he should have been world champion at some point. But he's a magnificent athlete. We're going to go back to this commercial. And when we get back, we're going to talk about the Vancouver Canucks and the crazy situation of the firing of Bruce. So we'll be back after this. Are you interested in watching one of the most anticipated web series in 2023? Well, here's your chance to support. You can go to mikesproduct.shop and you can order a coffee mug and a long sleeve shirt to support Mike's Zoom film series. So once again, go to mikesproduct.shop. The Vancouver Canucks have fired Bruce Boudreau, which happened last week. In the last 12 games, the Canucks went 1-10-1. 1 win, 10 losses, and 1 tie. But Bruce and the coaching staff, they anticipated what was going to happen. They knew what was going to happen, and Bruce knew from the beginning of the season that he was on the hot seat. Now, the issue that I have with the Canucks in terms of how they handle this is that they should have fired him before the season started and not dragged this out throughout the season. So I feel like they handled that very poorly. The Vancouver Canucks, they also have handed out not so impressive contracts. So the Canucks, they have a lot of work to do. The new head coach is former Arizona Coyotes coach Rick Tucci. He will be replacing Bruce, and Rick is the type of coach that he's more high energy guy. He wants to see more intensity, so it will be interesting how that will play out. But Canucks still have a lot of work to do. They need to improve their defense. They need more assets, more pieces added to the team, and they won't be able to solve all of that this season. So that all needs to start in the offseason after this season. And but Bruce Buttrell, I mean, he has coached hockey for 15 seasons with the Washington Capitals, Anaheim Ducks, Minnesota Wild, and the Vancouver Canucks. He will find another job. He's 68 years old, but he can still coach. He still has something left in the tank. He still want to prove something to himself. And it was very touching and very emotional to see that in the final games playing in Vancouver, the fans were chanting his name in support of him. So clearly he was beloved in Vancouver. But that's the business side of sports, that the Canucks front office felt like the team needed a new voice, and they certainly got that. Now we will have to see how this team will progress after the season. Not so much the remainder of the season, but after the season. Yes, they're heading into an all-star break, but like I said, they won't solve all their problems this season. It's time for Miguel's top performances of the weekend. Here are my top picks. Before we wrap things up, I just got to give a quick shout out to CCNY Beavers men's basketball team. They're playing exceptional well this year. They're 12-7. They recently lost to Baruch, but before Baruch, they had a 7-game winning streak. So, City College of New York, my alma mater, keep winning, keep going. Hopefully you guys win the CUNYAC championships this year. Hopefully I get to make it there and cover the CUNYAC Athletic Conference Championships. But CCNY Beavers, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing so far from these guys, and best of luck, keep winning. And that does it for this episode of Sports News Flash at 12. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. You can email us, which you'll see it after this video. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. AFC and NFC championship games, 2 great ones. Can't wait to see both of them. And I'll be seeing you next Sunday for the next episode. So take care. Always have God in your heart.